Moving on now, the Home Ministry is taking serious note of growing radicalism in prisons and considers this a serious challenge. A letter in this regard related to reforms was sent to all states on the 1st of July. States and union territories are to take steps to comply with suggestions in the letter, and some of the suggestions are that prisoners will be screened and monitored from time to time. There will be more surveillance on people involved in suspicious activities or at risk. There is a risk of radicalism increasing due to social isolation and lack of monitoring in prisons. In some cases, prisoners plan to attack prison staff, other prisoners or people outside. Screening will also include mental, social and health assessment. Emphasis on counseling, education and rehabilitation programs to prevent radicalism. Work on follow-up monitoring system to reintegrate with society even after release from prison. The mindset of extremism can be changed through corrective measures and practical rehabilitation. The Home Ministry there has raised an alarm over the growing threat of radicalization inside Indian prisons, calling it serious internal security challenge. In a letter dated the 1st of July, the ministry has written to all states and union territories urging them to implement a series of prison reforms aimed at curbing radicalism. Among the key recommendations, regular screening and monitoring of inmates, not just for criminal behavior, but also for signs of extremist leanings. Heightened surveillance of individuals involved in suspicious activities or considered vulnerable to radicalization. The centre has also warned that social isolation, lack of engagement and insufficient oversight inside jails can push inmates towards radical ideologies. In certain instances, prisoners have allegedly plotted attacks on jail staff, fellow inmates or people outside. The ministry has called for a more holistic approach, including mental, social and health assessments. States have also been asked to prioritize counseling, education and rehabilitation programs inside jails to prevent extremist indoctrination. There is also emphasis on post-release monitoring to ensure smooth reintegration of ex-convicts into the society. The centre maintains that the mindset of extremism can be addressed, but only through sustained corrective and rehabilitative interventions. Across to my colleague Brijesh Pandey, who joins me live from newsroom with more details on the same. Brijesh, this letter from the Home Ministry clearly shows growing concern over radicalization inside jails. How serious is this threat in your view?
Well, I think it's an extremely serious situation, and the way the information emerged from Karnataka, it pointed to larger nefarious designs on how prison was being used to radicalize prisoners or those inside it, and that is the reason why the Ministry of Home Affairs has shot off a letter to not only just to Karnataka but to all states, laying down certain SOPs, the standard operating procedures through which the jail administration, and not only that, the Intelligence Bureau and other officers will be in a position to monitor those who are there inside the jail, people, persons who are high profile detainees, and how, what are the kind of meetings that is taking place, whether they are making their families or not, whether they are being kept in isolation or not, because there's a section which believes that, keeping a hardcore prisoner in isolation for a longer duration of time can result into his radicalization. So the government is taking certain steps to make sure that there is no such radicalization, and even if it is happening, because there is no system is a foolproof system, the government would be and should be in a position to understand this situation which is going on inside the prison, and they are also in a position to make sure that they can take action well in the nick of time to make sure that this kind of radicalization can be stopped. Neha?
Right, Brijesh, the centre is recommending mental, social and health assessments, but do state jails really even have the infrastructure or trained staff to carry that out?
I think therein lies the big challenge, because if you look at the case in point being Tihar jail, it is short-staffed and it is severely overpopulated. So I think the government the government has a bigger challenge as far as this entire case is concerned. Of course, you require high-profile top shot professionals who are able to not only decipher, provide the requisite treatment, but also in a position to decipher if any such sort of radicalization that is taking place. So I think the SOPs or issuance of SOPs is just a first step in that direction. I think a lot more needs to be done if the government wants a real-time intel input as far as these radicalization is concerned, or how to nip this radicalization taking place inside these jails. Neha?
Right, and also Brijesh, do tell us, how is this a case of individual cases slipping through, or does it point to a deeper systemic failure? Are prisoners really serving their purpose as reform centers anymore?
Well, I think it's a mix of both. The fact of the matter is that yes, there are certain individuals who are caught in cases of terrorism or cases of violence which is so macabre that it shakes the very foundation of the society. So most of the time these prisoners are kept in isolation, or there is a special facility within the prison to keep them in isolation, to make sure that they do not get a chance to interact with other prisoners, because interaction or sustained interaction might lead to indoctrination of other prisoners there as well. So the state and the jail authorities also make sure that there are certain guidelines which are there in place when it comes to these high profile prisoners. But the fact of the matter is that no system is foolproof, and I think what has come out in the Karnataka jail indoctrination expose is a very stark reminder of how alert you have to be even after you have put these prisoners, these terrorists inside the jail.